welcome back to 996 the Howl, their seventh win. You know I had to do it against the Blackhawks. My first time seeing the Blackhawks this season. Missed the game in Chicago where the Coyotes lost 2-1. Yeah, it's always a great game to win against Chicago, especially in the desert when all of the Blackhawks fans come out of the woodwork just to see their team lose. It's just great to see a pretty good crowd. Obviously, the bulk of it being Chicago fans, but at this stage, it doesn't really matter as long as there's butts in the seats. It's good. And what an amazing and chaotic and entertaining game for those fans and for fans watching. Just a great hockey game, very loose, a lot of speed, not too many, defensive systems were deployed. It wasn't tight checking. It was just skill wins the game. And fortunately, the Coyotes come up on top and their first empty net goal of their season and their first win by more than one goal. It had to happen sooner or later. And, game 32, it happened. So how did it start? The first period was good. They killed off two penalties. They got an early lead by Dyson Mayo, who I mentioned last video, likes to shoot, just needs to work on his accuracy a bit, loves that wrister. It's a good shot, and it's great to see Mayo, get a goal. It's his first goal since his first goal of this season back against Edmonton, probably in October. And then it's 1-0, and then the Coyotes get into penalty trouble, and Vejmelka makes a huge glove save to keep the Coyotes in it, and that was a huge save because right after it, they go back the other way and get a goal. J.J. Moser with another primary assist, just loves to put the puck on the net. I believe that was Larson's goal, but Moser just looks great to me. He always makes the right play, even though he's not like such a talented defenseman who's going to lead the league in goals or points or what have you. He just makes the right plays and good puck management. Displayed by J.J. Moser. So the Coyotes come out of that with a 2-goal lead. It's 2-0. And then the first half of this second period was just all Chicago. They came out flying with momentum. They cut the lead in half to 2-1. Mackenzie Entwistle scores. They actually make it 2-2, but if I remember correctly, just the last half of this game was just way too chaotic. And then after the first 10 minutes where the Chicago had all the momentum, the Coyotes started to get their momentum. Thanks to the refs, the Coyotes had 4 power plays in that second period. In the later part of the game, the refs would make it up and start giving the Coyotes penalties. But, they had a huge power play goal by Travis Boyd off a great pass by Phil Kessel. And, I was watching this game in the first period, seeing Keller, Hayden, and Schmaltz's line, and I was noticing that Schmaltz and Hayden weren't really doing much. It was more Keller doing all the work. And part of me was like, Hayden's got to kind of wake up here because seeing Boyd on that fourth line center position didn't seem right to me. He had a great string of games just recently, and he's had 6 points in his past 3 games, including last night where he had a goal and 2 assists. And in the third period, Andre Tourigny, the new head coach for the Coyotes, agreed with my thoughts and put Boyd and Ladd with Keller, demoted Hayden to the fourth line, put Schmaltz with O'Brien and Galchenyuk. So obviously, Larson stepped up, Boyd stepped up. They had big nights. Larson with a hat trick, 3 goals. Larson also has 6 points in his past 3 games. Kessel had a huge night. He's got 8 points in his past 4 games. Keller's still Keller. He's got 8 points in his past 5 games. But, Travis Boyd deserves to play on a line with Clayton Keller. I'm not sure who gets that wing position. Maybe still put Schmaltz. Maybe put Hayden. I think Hayden's only useful for the penalty kill. He's good defensively this season. Just he's not producing. He's not making plays. He's not touching the puck enough. Whereas these other players who are not as talented as Hayden, they're more efficient and they make use of their short time with the puck. Referencing Boyd and Larson. Even Andrew Ladd had a great game. He was always in front of the net. If you look at some of these goals, Ladd's in front of the net, especially Clayton Keller's quick early goal in the third, where the Blackhawks challenged for goaltender interference. Ladd was right there. So, I'm not saying put Ladd on the first line, but Ladd had a good game. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Ladd paired with Boyd and Keller because they were paired together in the third period. So maybe Tourney goes back to that line. Just it's unfortunate that Hayden and Schmaltz aren't playing it together and they're losing their spots in their lineup in the top six to these other players who are just producing, and you can't really complain about that. I mentioned Larson has 6 points in his past 3 games, and same with Boyd. And Boyd just looks like the number one center on this team. And so we'll see what happens. But, as long as people are producing, that's all that matters. And so going into the third period, they were up 5-2. It quickly gets evaporated. After that, just a lot of penalties against the Coyotes. The Blackhawks were coming on strong. They made it 5-4. Fortunately, they hang on for the win, and they win 6-4. It's Vemelka's first win at home, so great to see Vemelka, get a win for the fans, and enjoy the win. I know officially, as of this video, the Coyotes are above the Canadiens in terms of point percentage. The Canadiens have played more games than the Coyotes, but only 1 point ahead of the Coyotes. So in terms of point percentage, Coyotes are a little bit better than Montreal. So, if they ever do, I'm pretty sure they're going to do point percentage standings for the draft lottery due to Ottawa is missing a ton of games, and the NHL has already said they're not even going to make up some of their Western road trip games. So definitely the draft lottery will be set by points percentage and not just absolute points. They got a game against Nashville Saturday at home. Hopefully they get a win there because next week is it's a pretty heavy competition. They got the Maple Leafs next Wednesday and then a back-to-back against their boogeyman in the Colorado Avalanche next Friday and Saturday. So get a win against Nashville. Feel good because next week's going to be rough. But thankfully the week after that, they face the Devils, Canadiens, and Islanders. So, they kind of make up for that heavy competition with some easier, light some lighter teams than those behemoths in the Maple Leafs and the Avalanche. So that's it for me. Their 7th win this season, almost at 10. I've been waiting for them to get 10 wins for almost 2 months now. So I got something special again for their 10th win. But, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.